Hi everyone, and welcome to the following of the ticket.sol smart contract. So in this part we're going to finish the functions of this smart contract so that we can finally compile the smart contract and deploy it. So the next function that we're going to write is get ticket, which will get the ticket specifications so that we can query the status of the ticket. So it will get the uint256 ID from the user, and it will show the user, so it's public view returns. So it will show to the user some of the data that it should. So uint256 ID. Also, it's much more beautiful to put in space. uint256 ID, underline ID, actually ID like this, and address seller, string memory event name, a string memory event name, uint256 price, uint256 price, and boolean available, available. And now we can get started with the function. So open the brackets. Now we'll require that the ID be greater than 0 and also less than the ticket count. So ID that we get from the user. First of all, require that the ID that we get from the user, so underline ID, be greater than 0, and also the ID be equal or smaller than the actually smaller than or equal to the ticket count. And by the way, this is AND, so we don't have comma between them. Instead, you should write AND like this. This is how you write it in Solidity. And now, otherwise, we'll show to the user invalid ticket ID, invalid tickets ID. So then ticket storage ticket storage ticket equals tickets array that with the ID that we get from the user. So this is how we get the ticket like this. And so we'll return to the user the ticket.id. So first of all, let's open the return ticket.id. So later that we compile the project and deploy it, you will see that even writing this function get ticket is not necessary, because we have this tickets option here, which has been created, the tickets variable, which you can get this data, but this is more a standard to write it, and this is just a function to get the ticket. So I personally recommend writing it, but you don't have to do that necessarily. So ticket.seller, ticket.event name, ticket.price, and ticket.available. And here we go, that's it for this function. And in the next one, let us see what else have we got. So get the ticket, we had two functions, get the ticket and purchase the ticket. So actually we haven't written the I guess purchase the ticket, right? So this is gets the ticket, but let me also write the function related to purchasing the ticket. So purchase ticket, so it will get the uint 256 ID, uint 256 underline ID from the user, and it's a public payable function, public payable function. And so let's open it up. It will require that again the ID be greater than 0 and less than the ticket count, unless invalid ticket ID. So require that the ID that we get from the user be greater than 0, and also the ID that we get from the user be smaller equal than the equal to the ticket count. Otherwise invalid ticket ID. So here we'll again have the ticket storage count, so it will be the ticket ID, and then it will require that the message that's valued, which is the message that the user enters in order to buy the tickets, be greater than or equal to the ticket price. You can write it in a simpler way. So let me first write it and then explain to you. Require that the first of all, it requires that the tickets be available. So let me first write that ticket dot available. So when we write it this way, means that ticket.available equals to true. So otherwise we'll show to the user ticket not available, ticket not available, and now it will require that msg.value, means that that the value that the user enters, that a specific address who wants to purchase the ticket enters, that value should be greater than or equal to the ticket.price. And you might wonder, what if it's greater than the ticket.price? And to answer that, sometimes the user enters a greater amount than the ticket price, so we'd better not to show the error. Instead, we'd better to actually subtract the message.value or the balance, or actually the value that the message sender enters, to subtract that amount by the ticket price and keep that money inside of the contract. Or it is more standard to put it equal to the ticket price, and otherwise show to the user insufficient payment amount, or actually not equal to the ticket price. So here we can say not a valid amount, not a valid amount for buying the ticket. And so here you can write either one of these requirements, but it's better to be equal rather than greater than or equal. So you can write it this way, but if the message sender enters a highly greater value, for example, instead of 10 ways, 10 ethers, or instead of 10 goays, he or she will enter 10 ethers, right? So then he or she won't be able to get it back. So that's the bug of this way of writing it. So I would prefer to write it equal. By doing this, you make sure that the user doesn't lose the money. So actually I've saved this, and now it's an error, but don't worry, because we're going to make it fine. So let us see what's the problem here. Ticket unavailable, expected this but got this. Okay, here this is for this one. Anyway, the function continues, and so after the two requirements, we will set the ticket available to false so that nobody else can buy it anymore. So available ticket.available equals to false, and then we'll emit the event for the ticket purchased. So ticket purchased event, and then it will get the ID from the user, and then msg.sender as the buyer, and a ticket event name. So ticket.event name, and also ticket.price, ticket.price. So that's it for this function. Now let's save this and see the errors that we might have here. So it returns something, and so expected primary expression. What's it all about? Oh, it's just instead of the brackets, we should have written the parentheses. So let's save this, and also here we need a semicolon. So another error seems to be appearing here. So identifier not unique or not found, and here ticketing system. So actually, as you can remember, this is a struct, and here by mistake I entered the name of the contract. So this is the ticket struct. We've used it over and over again instead of our smart contract. So ticket storage count, as you can see here. So here, let me fix this one as well, and require the ticket.available. Okay, and this is ticket, not count. So ticket so the ticket ID, actually this is tickets, so I guess that's no problem anymore. And here we seem to have another problem. So the price should be greater than 0, and this is the price, so price should get an underline. And here we go, the project has been compiled. So that's it for this part of our tutorial. In the next one, we're going to deploy the contract and test its functionalities.